Thank you for tuning in to the Shakaama live show with your host, Shakaama. You can stop messaging me, Twittering me, all the rest about Bill Cosby being charged. So Bill Cosby was charged by District Attorney Kevin Steele with aggravated sexual assault, stemming from an encounter in supposedly 2004 with a Miss Constant. Now, I already did a report on her. Why did they choose December 29, 30 to charge Bill Cosby? Any guesses? Because the statute of limitations on the Constant runs out the day after tomorrow. Now, in that case, there was no physical evidence. None. Zero. There is no physical evidence whatsoever. And in fact, this is a case of simply he said, she said. She said he assaulted her. Now, what is it about this case that reminds you of other cases and reports that I have made before? So the common thing is rape. If you're not familiar with my work, please go look this up. Rape, drug involved, boy, girl, right? So consistently, I did an exact duplicate of this case. Everybody was white involved at the time. I did an exact duplicate of this very same case, but it wasn't Bill Cosby, it was somebody else. He was accused of rape. University student accused of rape. Terminated from school, kicked out of school, tried to appeal, no appeal. So what was the key factor in that I thought was so horrible? Did he not rape her? No, he didn't rape her. So what was the key thing? This is the case of the I'm sorry I had sex with you coupled with you're a billionaire. The one lady that I just did a report on, and they said point blank that she wasn't raped. Her friend said that she was never raped. Supposedly she was raped for 4 years. Am I getting through to you people? So the case with the college student said, by definition, today, any sort of drugs or mind-altering drugs involved, I don't care if both parties are on it, and everybody wants to throw out this deposition. I'm gonna get to that in a second. By definition, it is rape. So, if you buy a girl a drink, and you drink, and you're both tipsy, if the girl goes to the authorities, they don't have to get, in the university case, they don't have to get any sort of evidence at all. The girl can simply go and say, I was raped. Were you raped? Yes, I was raped. Did you rape this girl? No. I was drunk. I was incapable of giving my consent to have sex. But you know what? This does not go the other way around. If, let's say, 25-year-old gets a freshman boy drunk, and let's not say he's 18, let's say he's 21. If a 25-year-old woman gets a 21-year-old boy drunk, it's understood that he consents because men can consent regardless of their state of mind. Women cannot. Let's get into this deposition, which was illegal to open because it was a civil case and they closed that case. The judge for that should be impeached. He came out with a book that sold thousands of copies. I don't know if he's on bestseller, but he came out with a book. Everybody involved came out with a book. This is all about money. And you people are so stupid. You're not understanding what this is about. And then people say, oh, it's not about race. I'm gonna get to that in a second. It's about race, but I'm gonna get to it and I'll shut you up once and for all. The quote unquote confession. The confession said, did you buy Quaaludes for this woman? For those of you who do not know anything about Quaaludes, never heard of Quaaludes, have no idea what Quaaludes are, I've had a person try and give me Quaaludes. He was a pill kind of person. I had no idea what the hell, but I knew I don't take pills. I knew I wasn't sick. So I didn't take any pills from this person. I'm naive, but I'm not that naive. Quaaludes is like alcohol. For those of you who don't get it, do you buy a girl a shot? If she says, buy me a shot, I want a shot and then I'll go home with you. Do you buy her a shot? Of course you do. You buy her a shot. You go to the local meat market, you buy her a shot. Or I've had girls offer me, and I'm Mr. Teetotaler, oh, buy me some marijuana, I'll go home with you. I don't want you. Do you think I want that? Why would I want that? If I wanted something, I'd get something respectful, tasteful, something that's gonna go somewhere. So Quaaludes was the drug of choice back in the day. Let's get to this confession. Did you buy Quaaludes? Yes, I bought Quaaludes. But she asked for it. Page 2. Did you ask him to get you Quaaludes? Yes, I asked him to get me Quaaludes. Aha! Nobody wants to report that. Why? Why don't they report that part? Huh? Go read it. The next page. I think it's like the next paragraph or something. Did you ask Mr. Cosby to buy you Quaaludes? Yes, I did. This is the case that we have in front of us. That's what we have in front of us. First of all, he needs to fire his lawyers for even letting it go this far. He should have been suing them left and right. But he's trying to be Mr. Good Guy, Mr. Good Guy. You know what? He's almost 80. Mr. Good Guy is all over. He's been Mr. Good Guy for 40 years, right? 50 years. He's already done Mr. Good Guy. It's time out for that. He needs to be the powerful man that everybody pretends that he is. If he was so powerful, he would have crushed all of these women like bugs. If he was that powerful, don't let me get $2,000 in my pocket. I'd friggin' sue the hell out of people. I'd sue the hell out of the company that fired me after I got into a fatal accident. Yes, I died and came back to life, and they fired me. And everybody said, well, you have a great case. Why would I want to go work? Because you sue somebody to go back to work, you know? I didn't want to work for them. They were horrible people anyway. And I didn't need the money. I don't need the money. I have no want for money. The only thing I have want for money is to do stuff for other people. But for me personally, I don't want money. Now, let's get to this black white issue, or let's get to what's really going on. I'm sure everybody's wondering, what is this all about? What is this all about? Here's what this is all about. You have to understand who Cosby is, who Dr. Cosby is. Why am I saying Dr. Cosby? Because he was called doctor for a very good reason. This guy is the guy who donated $20 million to Spelman College, an all-girl black school. Put people through school, full rides. No scholarship application, just paid off. Here's the bill, sign the check. Here's the bill, sign the check. This is also the black superstar that hired black people on all of his productions. Hired full staff of black people. And this is why I think it's disgusting that black people are joining in because you all have absolutely no loyalty whatsoever. Joining in to try and castrate this man. He hired everybody in the building black. And he said, even when they did not have the training that those people, that position didn't have black people in it, he brought in white people, put black people there, and had the white people train them. So that such time, 10 years later, he's got a full staff and every position is filled. They're all a part of the SAG, all a part of the union, all a part of the behind the scenes union, the in front of the scenes union. This is Cosby. You think this is not a black-white thing? They hated Cosby. And let's get this. These are people who know Cosby, who have said it. Hollywood hated Cosby, hated him, still hates him to his core. Now, Cosby tried to buy NBC twice. NBC, bankrupt. Okay, I'll buy NBC. No. Okay. Years later, again, I'll buy NBC. No. Now this is a no. It's not coming from the CEO of NBC. This is a no coming from on high. George Soros, those type of people. This is not about some stupid woman, nor 40 women who have absolutely no evidence. Cosby may have been a philanderer, which means he was unfaithful to his wife. That's between him and her, and it's none of our business, but this has nothing to do with him being a rapist at all. Go read that deposition talking about he said, yes, he bought Quaaludes. And he said, I bought Quaaludes because she asked me to buy Quaaludes. He even said, I had no idea how to buy Quaaludes. I'm Bill Cosby. I'm not Leroy, I have no idea. Give me a black name. Give me a black ghetto name. I'm not Leon. I'm not Leroy. But I found out through the white people I hang out with who do coke and speed and all that other stuff. And I told you, I looked up Quaaludes specifically. And this is why it's taken off the market. Quaaludes will render you tipsy, right? That's what you want. You want to be tipsy. That's why you take Quaaludes. They say if you take too much Quaaludes, you will go into a coma. There is nothing, tipsy, coma. There is no, I was paralyzed, I couldn't move. No such thing. They literally said, and not just Cosby, whole nightclubs would take Quaaludes. They're playing on your ignorance because you don't know something. I don't know anything about Quaaludes, so I looked it up. And they took it off the market because if you took too much, you go into a coma and die. You don't wake up. You just simply go into a coma and die. Boom. And these women are trying to say, oh, I took Quaaludes and I was paralyzed. I slipped into sleep. What? No, that doesn't happen. He offered me pills and a drink. I'm sorry. Now, I just told you somebody offered me pills. What did I say if they offered me pills? And this is my friend. This is a dear friend of mine. I think he's funny. He's great to hang out with. He does impersonations of Jack Nicholson. Funny guy. Great guy. Would you like some pills? No. Yes, they offered me pills. I've had plenty of people offer me. I'm a teetotaler. No drugs, don't smoke, don't drink, nothing. Nothing. Would you like a drink? No. Which one of you, if even your bestest friend came up to you and said, here, take this pill. Here, take this pill and take this one. Which one of you would say yes? And I'm saying, you who don't take pills, you who are not in the habit of drinking, you who are not in the habit of doing drugs, would you say yes to even your friend? I said no. My friend, he's over my house. We're alone. Take this pill. No, absolutely not. But all these women, and then the story is the same each time. I'm sorry, even the serial murderer guy, he does things different. Even the ritualistic, I cut off the right leg. I know you watched the Jeffrey Dahmer detective. What was his name? Dexter. I know you watched Dexter. It was 3 inches, then it was 1.5 inches. He was off by a centimeter. Then it was never the exact same. Never. And he would have to read blood splatter. Blood splatter is not the same. You can tell that maybe the same guy did it. What was the red? What was the other show? The Red Baron, the smiley red guy. Red, and all the titles of the episodes were something to do with red, like red wine and red smiley. What was that? Black? No, that wasn't Blacklist. The Mentalist. Yeah, that show. Even he didn't do the same. He had, you opened up the door and somewhere in your field of vision, you would see the smiley face, but it wasn't the same. These women said the same exact thing. Then I'm gonna do 2 more videos, and I'm gonna show you. In this case, they have no physical evidence, none. As far as the physical evidence is concerned, no rape occurred, none. Now here's my question. Just like this Tamir Rice thing, when they acquit Cosby, are all the women gonna run out and start mutilating themselves, cutting their arms, cutting their wrists, and running around rioting? What are you gonna do? When they acquit him, they let him because there's no physical evidence, nothing. And when they get that deposition, if they're gonna use a deposition, I'd use a deposition. Okay, here's a deposition. Deposition, did you buy her Quaaludes? Yes, but she asked me to buy the Quaaludes. Did you ask him to buy the Quaaludes? Yes. Case closed. Why are they bringing this? It's a witch hunt. I'm throwing out George Soros' name, but somebody wrote me and wrote 5 different names. I have to find that. I was intending to leave myself a note on Facebook, and I'll probably go look for it. But somebody wrote me 5 names of 5 different people, 5 different families. And they tell me, here's what's going on. People far richer than Cosby, far richer than Donald Trump, far richer. I know you all think, they said he raped him, I believe you can't have 40 women say the same thing. Let's look at their lawyer, Gloria Steinem, right? She works for the CIA. What don't you people get? This goes all the way to the top. And here I'm gonna leave off with this. Sinbad is doing the same thing. I'd say to Sinbad, you better watch out yourself, brother. He's hiring black people. He's hiring all black people. He's bringing he's even, listen to this, he's even hiring the stars that starred with Cosby. Tell me he's not setting himself up for a massive trap. Now, just to give you a hint about how wide open Sinbad is, he was married for 4 years. They divorced for 10 years. Then he's been married for another 8 years. He's wide open. If they want to accuse him of something, they can accuse him all day long. And I don't know the relationship, but just from those numbers alone, I would think that the woman is probably not that loyal to him. I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, yes, they've been married for, what, it was 20 years or something like that? A total of 30 off and on or whatever. But I would not be surprised if she was not loyal. I mean, stand by his side and say, oh no, my honey didn't do anything. Now, Cosby's wife, she's standing by his side. She say, back off, barracudas. How do you like that? That the wife, Mrs. Cosby, is standing by his side and saying, back off, you barracudas. She didn't say barracuda. I'm saying barracuda. This is much better than Mrs. Kobe Bryant, right? She took him to the cleaners. Oh, they love that. Yes, white people love that. Oh, those Negroes don't stick together. Hillary Clinton stood by Bill Clinton. He's forking people up in the Oval Office. I did not have sexual relationships with that woman. Silent. Completely silent. And then she has the nerve to talk about Bill Cosby. What about the other Bill C? And he has been charged with rape, and they have the evidence. This goes all the way to the top, and you sheep are just going for it. And Cosby has been trying to amass this empire. Now, I researched all of this discussions that Cosby said, and then I said, okay, I heard what he said, and of course, everybody's saying, you know what, he's actually right. All the stuff he said to black people, that black people got so mad and offended by, oh my God. He said, oh, you got your children up cursing and pants sagging, and then you surprised when they go to jail. Where were you when he was cursing and pants? Where were you? I'm asking you that too. Where were you? Oh my baby, I've never even been in trouble with the law ever. I was telling this story on Facebook the other day. I do real estate investment. I'm walking with my roommate, looking at this house. On the one side, the address said 1220. On the other side, it said 1150. So this house, I couldn't see the address. I'm looking at the curb. The house is in the middle of construction, so it's covered up. So here comes the police rolling up on me, and I'm looking down at the curb, and he gets about 2 feet away from me and taps the siren. I literally almost pass out because the thing is so loud. And he goes, what are you doing in the middle of the street? Now, I am not in the middle of the street. Now, I didn't take my own advice and not say anything to him, but I said, I'm a real estate investor. I'm trying to look at the address here. This says 1150, that says 1220. We can't see the address. Do you happen to know the address? Could you help me out and find the address for me? Now, I've never had a problem with police. Now, he goes back to his car, and before he gets back into his car, he says, I apologize for the alarm. I go, no problem. And my roommate said, oh, it's 1180. Okay, thank you, officer. Police constantly apologize to me when they encounter me. And yes, they've stopped me for being black. I know white people are surprised at that. But as soon as I open my mouth, they go, oh, yes, no, sir. Sorry, sir. I was walking in the park. Karen, it wasn't this. It was green, right? This policeman comes from all the way over around the park and puts on the light. He almost hits my roommate. I go, oh my God, watch out, Mark. I reach for Mark. And then he pulls up and he sees that the bottle I'm holding is a Perrier bottle. And he says, I apologize. I thought you were drinking something else. I apologize. Now, Vegas is actually one of those open carry container places. I believe it's actually legal to walk around with an open beer. But this was Perrier. And I said, not a problem. I mean, I've had every time I have been stopped by the police, and it's been several times, they have apologized. Now, why is it that when the police stop me, I get apologies from the police? But these youngins are getting killed. What are they doing that I'm not? Or what? And you can't say that Las Vegas police are not as corrupt. They've done drive-by shootings. They have had prostitution rings. They have had pedophile rings. This is the Las Vegas Police Department. I can pull, you want to go look at it, go look up the articles. It's where you're right online. So when Cosby says, where were you when he was cursing in elementary school, talking about how bad he is and tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat and all that stuff, and walking around with his prison pants sagging, because that's something from prison. You're going to play stupid, but I know you're not stupid. You know exactly what's going on. And then they say, oh, it's black culture to be stupid. It's not black culture to be stupid. That has happened in the last 30 years. They just did a study on that. Before the 60s, black people had to go to school and get straight A's. As a black person, you had to if you were going to go to school, you had to go and get straight A's. That was the culture of black people. Something happened, something flipped, and black people started talking about, oh, you talk white. And in fact, even still in the 60s and 70s, black people were well-versed in a black lingo and a white lingo. And you were expected to have a black lingo and white lingo, and you needed to talk like that around white people and talk like this around your brothers and sisters. It was expected. Then something flipped in the last 30 years where now blacks don't want educated. Who handed this down? Because this was not in my family. You could not go to school and not come home with an A. My mother could not come home from school without an A. There would be beatings. Not credit card, report card day was a beating day. You got a B? What are we sending you to school for? You could be working on the farm. You are wasting my time. I could have you out here doing some of these farm chores. You are wasting my time. Come get this whipping. Cosby was right. And everybody who listens to what he was saying to black people who are black, who are the only people that matter in this case, said he was right. He might have said something, and the only person who said anything different was who? Kevin Hart. He needs to go sit down. Kevin Hart, you need to go sit down. Oh my God, you're a traitor. Even, what's his name? Not Shaquille O'Neal. What's his name? Patrice O'Neal. He said he was absolutely right. You have these ghetto moms trying to raise children, messing up their life, the woman's life, and messing up the child's life, and doing all sorts of horrible things because they're ghetto. And they don't want to do anymore. Anytime you hear about some boy or girl who made it out of the ghetto, their mom did not want to be in the ghetto, or family. You don't have real mom and dads living in the ghetto. Is that a shocker? Married black couples aren't in the ghetto. Is that a shocker? Even single fathers, not in the ghetto. Even white people tell you, a man when he has children changes his whole outlook. He will then work harder to get promoted and promoted and promoted and promoted. Even single men don't get as many promotions as any man with a child. Every time you hear about a child that made it out of the ghetto or they were homeless, you heard about the black girl who was homeless and got accepted to 3 different Ivy League schools because she was straight A's. And what did she say? My mom made me get my lesson every night. At no point do you hear black kid gets out of the ghetto with a ratchet mom. It doesn't happen. Does not happen. Ratchet women do not produce fantastic children. They're the ones who molest the children, who abuse the children, let some man come in and molest the children and abuse the children. The highest numbers across the board. Abused children equals single mom. Molested children equals single mom. Abused children equals single mom with boyfriend. Molested children equals single mom with boyfriend. Not single dads. For some reason that doesn't happen, oddly enough. And I already did a thing about women and depression and being alone with children. They already know that that's what happens. But for some reason, they want to encourage this in the black community. It's not as bad as it sounds. As the numbers aren't as bad as the news media makes it out to be, but it is bad. Even one is bad in my eyes. Cosby was right. We need to get these women from stop being ratchet. You need to have pride in yourself and pride in your family. If you have a child, that's your legacy. That's what you are going to leave behind. That means you don't say your father was no good. That's not the kid's fault. That has nothing to do with the kid. Your kid is not your friend. He is your child. You need to raise your child. And you need to go back to the old black ways of you cannot go to school and not bring home A's. You're not going to stay here, or you're not going to stay here and not get a whipping from it. I don't care if you have ratchet friends who say, oh, it's Poindexter. No, you're not going to go, in my house, you're not going to go to school and not bring home A's. I had A's, period. There was never a point in my life where I didn't have A's. Never. Even in advanced placement, A's, 5.0. That was the way of black people. It's in the last 30 years that you had this whole... What else came along in the last 30 years? Oh, rap? That's just a coincidence, right? Rappers talking about this and that and the other, how much honeys and blah, 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 blah. Walking around with sagging pants on in front of you. You're not influenced by that? Really? That's a lie. You think that that's cool. T.I. walked into a Walmart, everybody lost their mind. Oh, it's T.I., the ex-con. Is that who you idolize? Cosby was right. And you all, I can't believe he said that. And then, at least some of the black periodicals have the decency to tell the truth. It's not that we're mad at Cosby for what he said. We're mad at him for airing the dirty laundry of black people. You don't do that. Well, what other forum can we do? Cosby paid for his own appearances. White people don't do that. White people, Hillary Clinton charges $100,000 for one appearance. Cosby paid for his own appearance, rented out the place, rented all the chairs, rented all the food. You came and listened and you're still mad. He hired all black staff, you're still mad. You're the most disloyal people ever. So what you're really mad is he outed you. And for some whatever reason, you all didn't say, keep the white media out of this. You want to talk about some problems, let's talk about some problems. Let's be some adults about it. You're still mad. You're watching this and you're still mad at Cosby. Cosby has made black millionaires. You're still mad at him. Most disloyal people? Why am I angry? Because I'm trying to do what Cosby did. I'm trying to set up foundations and corporations and stuff to help black people. And if this is the loyalty that I'm seeing, to hell with you. I'm trying to open up all black boys schools, all sorts of stuff I have. And I'm trying to make a series for black people to get you to make $100,000, what I consider easily. It takes work, but it's easy stuff that you can do. A real live, case by case, I have a few things I've already written out the script on Facebook. This is why I'm angry at this. I don't care about Cosby, but I'm trying to do exactly what he's doing. Sinbad is already doing what he's doing. This is why I'm angry at this whole thing. You are the most disloyal people, and you run to people who do not have your best interest at heart. I'm talking about the Democratic Party. Detroit. Look at Detroit. Highest property tax in the land, in the country. And you're still voting Democrat. Still highest everything. Highest sales tax, highest property tax, the educational tax. Highest, high. And it's not black people, white people did it to you too. White people did it first, black people are just continuing it. And even after the rich white people, then the rich black people left, then the middle class white people, then the middle class black people left, you're still voting Democrat. The people who are in the know in Detroit said, we don't have the KKK. We don't have the Tea Party. So who's doing this to us? The Democrats want to tell us that the Tea Party hates us, the Republicans hate us. We don't have those people here. So what's the problem? Who's keeping us down? We don't have not a single one elected. Everybody on the board is Democrat and have been for 60 years. And 60 years ago, there was no black person in power. And white people want to say, oh, it's all the black people. No. White people were in power. Black people have only been in power, 10 years? Still Democrat. But it's black people in power now instead of white people. Still Democrat. Carrying on the master's will. I'm not going to call you names, but you know what I mean, carrying on the master's will. And you just run up behind these people and they tell you, oh, the Cosby's against you. You should be mad at Cosby. Oh yes, I'm mad at Cosby. You should be as loyal to Cosby as white on rice. You should love the ground that he walks on. He has been so loyal to the black man. I'm not talking about his personal life, I'm talking about his professional life. What did I tell you? He hired everybody in the building black. Even when there weren't black people who could do the job, he brought white people in to train black people so that they could do the job. And then 10 years later, they could do the job and he had nothing but Negroes all up in there. Why is that important? Because when they do black shows, there's not a black person in there except the person standing in front of the camera. Even these so-called black shows, the WB stuff. White people all just making hundreds of thousands of dollars. The guy holding the cord, the guy on the camera, the guy in the booth, the guy on the microphone, the guy in the ear, everybody. White, and Jewish. Just white everywhere. So finally he said, no, I'm gonna hire black people. Because black people need friggin' jobs. I can't walk around making millions of dollars and in the meantime have these people making $1 million off of me and they not be black. Can't do it. Because that's all they do. They just hire white people. Oh, it's not a white TV station? Yes, it definitely hell is. They don't call it WET. No, they don't call it WET, but goddamn, it's WET all the way through. ABC, CBN is owned by one person. You should be loyal to Cosby more than anything else. Did he rape you? That's my question. Did he rape you? Why are you offended? Did he rape you? No, I know he didn't. The burden of proof is on the accuser. That's how our legal system works. They have no evidence here. And the evidence that they're saying that they have actually disproves it. Because she said, yes, I asked him to go by the court. Thank you for watching the Shakaama live show. Let me drop the mic right here.